silly season.
Yeah.
So in 59 minutes from right now,
Yes.
the legal tampering period is underway, which means that teams can announce deals with players. The true free agent season begins on Wednesday.
Right.
So they're
There is
unofficial
so much
deals.
to get into.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
God.
it's just, we'll get into all of it. We'll talk about who's on the Browns' radar. The big news, the Browns restructured the deal of Deshaun Watson. We knew that was coming.
Yep.
It saves them $36 million on the cap, which means that, give or take, I know JJ3 is going, but give or take, it's going to be about $22 million. Anywhere from $22 million to $30 million is what I'm hearing in cap space, and that's a good number.
Currently, and that could go up with the restructuring of other deals.
It could go up, and some of those deals are likely to be restructured. So you could be looking upwards of $40 million.
Restructuring is always good. I was 12 years old, OG. My mom and dad was like, we'll give you $20 a home run. I hit 22 that year. They needed a restructure.
So you were that kid. You were as big at 12 as you are now.
Yeah, they said cut all this. The next year, if no incentives involved, you don't play for
That's
another
it.
game.
You got a max deal, though.
I got a max
They
deal.
said now we'll give you $20 a stolen base instead.
That's right.
They moving the goalposts.
Oh, that's great. So we're going to get into all of the names, and there are so many names that are pegged to the Browns.
Which is exciting.
It is exciting
Yeah.
because if there's 10 experts, and that's roughly how many I follow and really legitimately believe, you can add up all of the names that they mentioned, you're over 20. Just in terms of linebackers, defensive linemen, wide receivers. It's all over the board. We're going to dive into it.
Okay.
Our second hour today, guys, is probably going to be one of the most frenetic hours of television that we've done so far.
No doubt.
Explain why, Bull.
Well, because starting at 12 o'clock, you're going to see news break, and we're going to just jump on. We don't have anything specifically planned for the second hour.
No.
As soon as because even if it's not the Browns, if another big player signs with another team, it's interesting. If somebody signs with the Steelers or the Ravens or the Bengals, it's all interesting. It
one
all
of the guys
factors
that
in.
we're targeting that goes to someone else.
So things go crazy. You said, and it's true, that the legal tampering period begins at noon, but the illegal tampering has already begun.
Well, of course it has, because we've already heard about dots being connected and everything else. One of the big things that happened over the weekend, and I know that this moved the needle for everyone, Jalen Ramsey was traded from the Rams to the Dolphins. Everybody was going nuts over that. I am not, because he's not Jalen Ramsey. You know, remember when Nnamdi Asomugha
Was that dude?
was that guy, and
Yes.
then everybody went nuts when he got moved to the Raiders?
We never heard from him again.
You never heard from him again. Like, these guys get old, like you were saying last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When a wide receiver hits 31, wash your hands of them. And I also say when a prime cover guy hits 30,
They go quickly.
They go like this.
And I remember looking at it like this. I was watching them during the beginning of the season. I came in and told Tyvus, I said, look, I ain't no DB, but I don't think he's that good right now. He said, oh, my goodness.
Well,
I can't believe it.
You
You're
ended up
right.
being right.
Tyvus has been saying that for a while. But here, the big story of the weekend was that Bears-Panthers trade.
That was big.
That happened Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you never know what a team's going to do with draft picks.
Right.
But kudos to the Bears. I think they made a great trade.
I do too. They got a haul.
First, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like people running around here, I told Justin Fields is that guy, right? Now you had to surround him with other people, and that's what they did. I know they was moving that pick.
You like him better than Stroud?
Do I like Justin Fields?
Better than Stroud?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
I actually don't like the trade. I'm not going to lie, guys.
I do.
Why? What do you like about
Why?
it?
I think they got a haul back, but I think this draft in particular has 2 or 3 guys outside the quarterbacks who are legitimate can't-miss prospects. And when you go into the pick or to the draft with the number 1 pick and you trade back, I still think you need to put yourself in a position
Yeah,
to
but
get
here's
one
the
of
thing,
those
Mike.
guys.
Can I see that list again? I was talking.
No, hold on. Let me tell you about this. So you got a person that has extensive experience looking at Justin Fields play every day, right?
Yeah.
Every day.
No, I'm not saying take a quarterback.
No,
I'm saying if you're going to get one of the other non-quarterbacks.
I'm saying
He's saying they traded too far down. But here's what I would say, is that I'm assuming there's going to be 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 8, right? So to me,
that's safe.
They're going to get the 5th best non-quarterback at worst. On their board, it might be higher. So for dropping from the best non-quarterback to the 5th best non-quarterback, they get another first, 2 seconds, and the
Moore.
first good wide receiver they've had in forever.
Yeah, put that list back up there again, right? This is a haul.
Yeah.
This is a freaking haul.
That's why
you
it's
go,
a good deal.
You
in
go
my
from
view.
1 to 9. You get 60 first. You get a first round, so you got 2 first rounds in 24.
Right.
You got a second round, presumably a high second round in 25. That's what the Bears have so many holes.
They do.
They had so many holes. You have to fill them. And I would just tell you, and I know people was on me about this Chubb thing, right? At some point, a franchise is going to have to fill its holes, and you can't fill them all by free agent signing. I don't care how much cap space you got. Right. You got to maneuver, right? And it requires sometimes giving up something to get something.
I think what spawned this move, I think they wanted to go with the big D tackle from Georgia first. That stuff happened. Their hope is
he'll fall.
He'll fall.
That is their hope.
I mean,
I don't think he's going to fall that far. Someone's going to take a.
If he does,
if he starts slipping too far, yeah. If he starts slipping too far, I think someone else will make a move and go up and get him.
I believe they did it because they believe there's going to be a run on quarterbacks.
Right.
Now,
and they think they'll still get one. They probably have 5 guys they like, and they're like, all right, maybe we have to take our 5th choice instead of our 1st. Right. We love enough guys. Here's the fascinating thing to me. I don't know if you guys saw this. After this trade was over, Schefter reported, now who knows what the truth is, but Schefter said that the Panthers are allegedly not sure who they want at 1. And I'm thinking, you gave up all that and you're not sure? Now maybe he's being misled?
Did you see the new report this morning?
I saw
Frank
Schefter.
Reich is a huge C.J. Stroud fan.
I did see that.
But Dave Tepper, the owner, loves Bryce Young.
That's a problem.
Well, the owner usually wins those battles. The owner usually wins.
And he a new owner, too? He just
got
a
couple of years.
Relatively new. Reich is a new coach.
Yeah.
And historically, the owner wins those battles.
So I'm going to tell you, Bryce Young at 5'10", they better be thinking about the 5'10", 180. Okay. What's the longevity on that?
We'll get
this kid here.
Yeah, that scares the hell out of me.
He can throw the ball, big body, right? I think he got an upside to him.
But let me ask you this, Brad.
Yeah.
How much does the string of, I don't want to call it failure, that's harsh, but certainly non-success by Buckeye quarterbacks in the NFL, that's got to be swirling around in the minds of anybody that's looking at C.J.
Well,
Stroud.
let's talk about. Okay, so name your people. Who are you talking about? Schlichter?
No. I'm just talking about the recent run of quarterbacks.
Like, who was the recent run?
I mean, Justin Fields is the most recent.
Justin Fields going to be a player.
But it's unproven yet.
I said he's going to be a player.
The verdict's out.
For sure.
I agree.
We've seen moments, but we've also seen moments.
Well, I would say this: when you're assessing anybody, right? Justin Fields has literally nobody around him, nobody, and he's still killing, right?
He wasn't killing though.
Yes, he was killing. Yes, he was.
Not throwing the ball though. He was
Who
running.
he throwing it to?
Here's the thing though: Braxton Miller killed it. Troy Smith killed it.
Hold on.
On and on. Help me out.
Braxton Miller. No disrespect to
Cardale
Braxton
Jones
Miller.
killed it.
Braxton Miller. No disrespect to any of those guys, right?
Right.
They're not top tier dudes. They're not.
Coming out, they were.
Where? In the Big Ten, yeah.
I mean,
but Brad,
they not here.
Brad, these guys have been. Buckeyes have had highly touted quarterbacks now going back 6 years.
Let me tell you that thing.
8 years.
No, listen, I like.
They just haven't panned out.
I like Cardale Jones. I like Braxton. They're not Josh Allen. That's not who they are.
But neither is Justin Fields.
Well, here, Ohio State.
Or C.J. Stroud.
Ohio State here has one of the biggest hype machines running around here.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't never take in consideration where a person went to school.
I agree with that.
I go person for person, skill for skill, your tape, your interview. He's a different quarterback than Cardale Jones, respectfully. He has a different skill set. Now, if you want to say, I wouldn't even compare him to Justin Fields just because Justin Fields is a dynamic runner. Stroud made it a point to tell people, I'm in the pocket.
He did.
This is what I'm going to do in the pocket. I'm going to throw them. Now, some people can say, you look really good because you done had 5 of the best receivers we ain't ever seen in the history of the game.
Right.
You had Njigba.
It's the pieces.
You had Olave. You had Garrett.
Look at the line. He has all day to throw. That's not going to be the case.
You had Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, but it was the same thing for Fields. And I think whatever you want to argue about Fields, the jury is still out. We don't know for sure yet what he is.
Right.
And we know he can run. We don't know in the passing game. We don't know yet. It is fair that he has not had talent. It's now fair that he has a really good receiver in DJ Moore. So we'll find out for sure about Justin Fields this year.
Yeah.
But the thing to me in the end is, and again, I'm just guessing just like anybody else. From Carolina's perspective, I'm like, I don't see Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence in this draft. I don't think
it's a
any
QB class. That's what both the guys who came on, Bugler and Ryan Wilson
coming
said.
in, there isn't. Now,
there isn't that one guy.
We have to be careful because sometimes drafts look thin. A guy hits the NFL, and everybody's all of a sudden like, wow, didn't see that coming. I mean, remember where Patrick Mahomes went in the draft?
Yeah.
And Watson.
Remember where Tom Brady went in the draft? Those are the two greatest, perhaps, ever to play the position.
Hey.
Well, Mahomes was still a first-round pick. That's a huge.
He was a first-round pick, but it wasn't like he was a can't miss. Like, if you were to ask everybody when he was coming out, they're like, yeah, he's going to be a nice piece.
Yeah.
Nobody I thought he was going to be the next Tom Brady.
No, sure. You never know. Right. I'm just saying.
So we don't know.
At this point, we're all guessing, and none of these guys feel special to me.
We blew